All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome to Friday, October 3rd's market recap. I didn't get a chance to either trade nor do a recap on Friday because I was on a flight, and then I attended a Young Boys concert out in Philadelphia. So that's what I was doing Friday, and then Saturday I made the trip back home. I ended up going to the Florida Keys that day with my boys, so I didn't get a chance to record this either. And then today is Sunday. I'm back in the house today as my first day back in the house. I had a couple birthday presents. Look, I'm in the middle of building this STO right now. Peep this. I just built this 3RS. This shit's sick. I'm going to cop this in real life. You guys think I'm playing? And then I also got a Revuelto right here as well, which is pretty sick. I think the 3RS is my favorite. I got a couple more back home in California, but I'm about to go out there on Tuesday, so I'm going to bring those back. It's like a Jesco and shit out there. But anyways, yeah, I didn't take a trade at all on Friday. I did get a chance to look at the market. Again, I apologize that this is super late. So I'll go over the trades I would have took. There was only a singular trade I would have took, and thank God I didn't take it because it did result in a loss. But there was two other trades in the Discord that I got asked about. One was on ES, and then another one was on here. So I want to go over those first, and then from there we can... yeah, we can go on to over to, yeah, so coming into this morning, well, Friday morning, I was just extremely bullish, right? We're at all-time highs. We're clear trend line to the upside. So what I wanted to see at market open, which happened obviously at 9:30 right here, was a resweep of these lows right here. Okay, we take out all this low resistance liquidity, maybe create an SMT with ES, and then we can continue higher on the day. So that is what I was looking for. However, I did get a question about a 946 long towards all-time highs, which all-time high would have been right here. And then there was also a unfilled 15-minute fair value gap that we could have took profits at right here as well. So here is a 2-minute long, right? We did create an SMT with these market open lows. As you guys can see, 930 low right here. Ended up getting swept out, and then the 930 low did not get swept out. So overall, this wasn't a bad setup, especially since we are all-time highs. I would give it about an A, but me personally, I know it's easy to say this in hindsight now that I'm looking back at the charts and ended up seeing what price did, but I would have wanted to see price just push a little bit lower and at least take out like these 15-minute lows right here as a valid manipulation source. And if we didn't do that, I was just going to wait for a continuation model, like maybe like a 5 or 15-minute gap to open up. Maybe we inverse this gap, come back down, hit a 5-minute, and then we can long towards all-time highs. So I really wanted to see this low get swept out. And we also had, what's it called? An unfilled 15-minute right here as well. So not only would this low get swept out, I would want to see a tap into this 15-minute because I wouldn't want that on my stop loss. And then we can long from there. But overall, just looking at this setup, right, we had this market open SMT. We take out most of this low resistance liquidity. We have a 2-minute inversion to the upside. Clear targets, right? We have this high that was great, or these two highs. And then this unfilled 15-minute gap. So overall, this setup doesn't look too bad. I'd give it about like I'd say like an A minus. Just because to make it like an A plus, I would want to see a sweep of all this low resistance liquidity. And like I said, tap into that 5-minute gap as well. But we ended up creating a, what's it called? A all-time high SMT. Okay, and let me just go over this ES trade real quick because it actually was very, very beautiful. We had an all-time high SMT. As you guys see, all-time highs got swept out. Okay, we get a nice V-shaped recovery out of it. I don't think we get an internal SMT as well, though. I'm pretty sure these 940 highs got swept out right here. And these 940 highs got, yeah, so no internal SMT, but we had an all-time high SMT. What else did ES hit? I'm not really familiar with this ES trade because I didn't even look at it. But overall, just looking at it, it looked pretty good, right? All-time high SMT. ES obviously was trending a lot higher. NASDAQ was trending a lot lower down here. We had I think it was a 3-minute inversion. Maybe a 2-minute. Oh, yeah, this 2-minute IFEG right here. Towards this unfilled 5-minute. Yeah, this looked really, really good. I would give this about an A setup. I just wouldn't force a short setup in this scenario. Yes, it did play out, and yes, it looks very good. However, since we're at all-time highs, I would want to at least see price push into here, and then I can maybe just long it out of it, right? That's how I play all-time highs. But if you did take this, good job. It did work. This, like I said, any mech model is just a little bit riskier at all-time highs because why? Well, there's nothing to the left of us, right? Typically, I like to see like a sweep of liquidity and a tap into a high time frame fair value gap, like 15-minute or plus, and then see a reaction out of there. But since there's nothing to the left of this, there's enough for value gaps, we just have to go off liquidity sweeps. Not every liquidity sweep works, but this one did. And just looking at it, yeah, it looked pretty good. And we could have went break even at this unfilled 3-minute gap right here. As soon as price hit that, that would have been a quick break even. And then, yeah, price would have came all the way down towards this 5-minute, and it would have worked out. So, yeah, I would give this about an A setup. Like I said, I wouldn't give it an A+, just because the fact that we're at all-time highs, and it's just a little bit more riskier taking mech models or gap models at all-time highs. So, back to NASDAQ. NASDAQ actually ended up coming down and taking out, I believe it was these hourly lows. Yeah, these hourly lows right here, creating a bullish SMT. However, what was still beneath us, right? We still have this previous day low right here. And on top of that, it is also the entry point to a unfilled, oh no, that's the 4-hour. First of all, there's an unfilled 4-hour right there as well, but also this unfilled daily gap. So not only do we have an unfilled daily gap right there, we also have an unfilled 4-hour right here as well. So even though we had this bullish SMT, I wouldn't have really been worried about it, right? And we also have an internal SMT as well. There was no, I don't think there was. Yeah, because this is an unfilled 15-minute gap right here. There wasn't no mech towards this. That's what I'm looking for right now. But we ended up coming up and tapping into this 15-minute perfectly. And what else did we tap into? We also tapped into this 5-minute and a different 5-minute as well. And I believe we might have hit equilibrium of the range as well too. Just missed equilibrium, so we did balance out the leg. Again, we also have this all-time high SMT. We have these market open SMTs come up into a 15-minute fair value gap, 5-minute fair value gap. What do we see? We see a instant reaction out of the 15-minute by what? We have this 1-minute inversion. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful setup. This is part of the 30% statistic, right? We have a 70% win rate, which means we lose 30% of the time. This is a trade I would have took. This is an A+ setup. We have clear draws lower. Why? Well, we have this low right here. We have this internal low. We have previous day low down here. We also, which is also an unfilled daily gap, and we also have this 4-hour unfilled gap as well. So super, super clean. We also got a resweep of this high. I don't know if there was an internal SMT. Nah. But the reason why this failed was because ES wanted this high one more time, and as you can see, we trended higher. But so did NASDAQ, right? We ended up getting stopped out. Well, I didn't take this trade, but I would have. We would have ended up getting stopped out. Nothing we can do about it. And then I don't know what price did the rest of the day. I think we just chopped and might have took out the rest of those lows later on in the day. What time was this? What is that, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock? I don't know. But this happened in the PM. I would have already been off by now. I would have took this trade right here, and it would have been an L. So I'm glad I didn't trade that day. But overall, again, it looks pretty good in hindsight now that I can go back and look at it. But I know looking at this shit in real market conditions when there's nothing to the right of you, it's pretty hard to, I guess, predict. But however, that is just how the game goes, and it is what it is, right? So those are the 3 trades I wanted to go over for you guys in the Discord. Like I said, that last one coming out of the 15-minute and just riding the trend line back down towards the unfilled 4-hour and the unfilled daily fair value gap along with previous day lows. That is a trade I would have took. I would have given it an A+. Be careful on the mech models at all-time highs. Even though it looked really, really good, price can just do whatever the fuck it wants. So it's probably better if we just take continuation models. But if you build conviction and you have conviction, you're confident in your setup, go ahead and take it. No need to hesitate. All right. Hope you guys learned from this video. I will see you guys tomorrow on October 6th for live trading.